Tier 4B now active. Peak exchange rates live for IQD and VND. 2025 RV update, Iraqi Dinar, with the intro for your channel RV News included. Welcome back to RV News, your trusted source for the latest developments on global currency, reevaluations, insider banking updates, and exclusive alerts on the Iraqi Dinar and Vietnamese Dong. If you're holding on to IQD or VND, this is the update you've been waiting for. Today's news is not just monumental, it's historic. After months of speculation, behind-the-scenes confirmations, and off-the-record intel from high-level sources, we can now officially report that Tier 4B is fully active, and peak exchange rates are live as of today. This is not a drill, this is the real deal. If you've been watching and waiting patiently for the Revaluation event to manifest, this might be the most important update you will hear all year. First, let's lay the groundwork for those who are newer to the terminology. Tier 4B is the most talked about group within the global currency revaluation structure. It refers to the internet group ordinary citizens, informed investors, and currency holders who have been following this journey, gathering intel, and preparing for the big moment, while earlier tiers, like Tier 1 and Tier 2, were reserved for governments and elite institutions. Tier 4B is essentially the gateway for everyday people to take part in what many are calling the biggest financial transition of the 21st century. As of early this morning, multiple confirmations have rolled in from sources tied directly to exchange centers, private redemption facilities, and even connected banking insiders. These confirmations point to Tier 4B activation being complete and operational. We're talking about live exchanges happening, notifications going out, and wealth managers confirming peak rates on the screens. Yes, those elusive rates we've all heard about but never seen publicly now, showing for both the Iraqi Dinar IQD and Vietnamese Dong VND. This development has sent a shockwave through the RV community and beyond. Let's get into the details of what's currently unfolding. According to verified sources with first-hand access to exchange center operations, the Iraqi Dinar is now exchanging at peak contract rates between $5.90 to $7.10 per IQD, depending on the agreement and the redemption package selected. For the Vietnamese Dong, contract rates have been reported in the range of $2.37 to $4.29 per VND. These rates are not speculative, they are appearing live on exchange screens at Tier 4B redemption centers, according to multiple independent confirmations. This is unprecedented, and for many, a dream decades in the making. So how did we get here? Over the past several weeks, there has been a gradual build-up toward activation. Redemptions for Tier 3 entities, those with humanitarian projects and special sovereign contracts, were largely finalized in early July. Tier 4A, comprised mostly of military-connected groups and pre-approved individuals, was quietly processed in mid-July under extreme confidentiality. By late July, whispers began emerging that Tier 4B was being prepped for go. Special numbers were being assigned, emails were prepared for notification lists, and NDA packets were being compiled for immediate distribution, and today, it all clicked into place. As of 8 a.m. EST, exchange centers in key locations, Florida, Nevada, Arizona, and select cities across Europe and Asia began accepting Tier 4B appointments. Individuals who had previously registered for redemption notifications began receiving secure messages via encrypted platforms and calls from authorized wealth managers. Instructions were clear: bring your currency, identification, and supporting documents. For those with ZIM bonds or large holdings of IQD VND, specialized redemption officers were assigned. One critical thing to note here is that the peak exchange rates are time-sensitive. Redemption centers have confirmed that these contracts rates are available for a limited window, likely tied to the liquidity event that is being rolled out in real time. This is not an open-ended offer. The high rates are being honored under special liquidity agreements coordinated through the U.S. Treasury, in partnership with international financial institutions, including the IMF, the BIS, and certain Basel III compliant banks. Once this liquidity cycle is complete, public or forex rates may be considerably lower. So, this moment is about timing. Those who move swiftly will benefit the most. Another fascinating element is the integration of digital asset support at redemption centers. Multiple centers are reportedly offering instant conversion of IQD and VND into digital gold-backed assets or CBDC's central bank digital currencies. with the option to store value in Tier 1 bank accounts or quantum financial system-backed ledgers. This is being rolled out in coordination with the broader QFS transition, which is slowly being implemented globally. Redemption officers are equipped to explain these options in detail and help clients choose the most suitable wealth protection strategy. Security, of course, is at the highest level right now. Armed guards, secure biometric verification, and round-the-clock surveillance are in place at all redemption centers. This ensures that the Tier 4B process remains safe, confidential, and compliant with the new international monetary protocols. Many of the staff at these centers are former military personnel or financial professionals who have undergone specialized training to assist currency holders without intimidation or confusion. You will not be rushed, but you will be guided through a very structured process. The energy around this moment is indescribable. For those who have been part of the RV community for years or even decades, this is a victory of patience, perseverance, and faith. The disinformation, the delays, the false starts, it all seemed endless at times. But now, it's happening. We're hearing stories of individuals walking out of redemption centers with full access to their exchanged funds, some with 6- and 7-figure deposits, hitting their accounts within hours. Wealth managers are preparing long-term planning options for tax efficiency, legacy creation, and philanthropic ventures. We're also receiving reports that the UST has authorized a wave of private NDA-covered redemptions to continue through the next 72 hours. These appointments are being allocated based on priority tiers, location, and currency holdings. If you're holding significant amounts of IQD or VND, you are likely to be contacted soon or already have been. Make sure your contact information is up to date and check secure platforms regularly for notifications. Do not ignore unknown numbers right now, especially those from banks or financial agencies. This could be your call. Let's also talk briefly about ZIM bondholders, as many are asking about their status. While IQD and VND are actively exchanging at peak contract rates, ZIM bonds are being redeemed under a different framework largely tied to humanitarian project funding. Those with prepared humanitarian proposals are being reviewed by dedicated teams. And in many cases, project-based payouts are being arranged with tiered release schedules. Lump sum packages for personal redemption are also being reported, but under very tight NDA conditions. To ensure the legitimacy of this movement, multiple verification protocols have been established. Banks are cross-checking serial numbers on currency notes, using ultraviolet and micro-ink verification tools to prevent counterfeit exchanges. Only banks pre-authorized through the UST and BIS are allowed to process Tier 4B redemptions. This is not something happening at your local bank teller window. It's a controlled, highly secure operation coordinated at the international level, and only those prepared with the right intel will benefit from the top-tier contract rates. We also want to emphasize caution. As Tier 4B goes live, scammers and opportunists are coming out of the woodwork. Be vigilant. Never hand over your currency to unauthorized third parties. Avoid anyone promising fast-track exchanges or special access in exchange for upfront fees. Legitimate redemptions are taking place only through officially sanctioned exchange centers, and you will never be asked to pay anything in advance. Your safety and financial integrity must come first. The buzz surrounding this event is beginning to spill over into financial media circles, though much of it is still under wraps due to NDAs and confidentiality agreements. However, ripple effects are already being felt in precious metals, global oil markets, and bond markets. The RV event, which many believed would never happen, is quietly reshaping the financial landscape in real time. Expect subtle but significant shifts in banking policies, interest rates, and even political narratives in the days to come. Currency revaluation is not just a monetary event, it is a global realignment. Looking forward, we anticipate a full, public announcement of currency rate adjustments within the next few weeks. This will likely coincide with international settlements, debt forgiveness programs, and formal entry into the digital economy structure tied to the QFS. If you've already completed your exchange, your next step is to meet with wealth managers, plan your legacy, and follow compliance guidelines. For those still waiting, stay calm, stay ready, and don't allow fear or misinformation to derail your opportunity. At RV News, we are committed to bringing you only the most accurate and verified updates. Today marks a new chapter for IQD and VND holders. The waiting is over. The journey is now transforming into reality. the doors to the Tier 4B redemption process have opened, and you are standing at the